Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today, we got the Championship 3-on-3 Autumn. I don't know, I think that's the official name, it's what it says, but there was a quick look at the teams. It was Sakazuki, Purple Luffy, and, man, I kind of already forgot. Oh yeah, Red Purple Luffy. So Purple Luffy, Red Purple Luffy for one team, and the other team was Katakuri, Sakazuki, and Purple Luffy. So we're going to be watching the Red Purple Luffy versus Katakuri matchup. It's pretty cool to see Red Purple Luffy. I think in our format, unless like Whitebeard gets unlimited, I don't think we're going to see a ton of it, just because I feel like it's really reliant on those 9-drops. And yeah, we have like Shanks, but I feel like it's just not as strong as the 9-cost Whitebeard. But we can see the Red Purple Luffy's hand. He has 2 7-drops, a Zoro Juro, a Basil Hawkins, and the 5-cost 2k counter, I think it's Franosuke, has a Rush if you attach a Dawn on it or something. I don't know the exact effect, and this is the Katakuri's hand with a Parasparrow, a Brûlé blocker, 2k counter, Shirahoshi, and the 8-drop Katakuri. So, also kind of interesting, I guess, to see Katakuri. When I think OP05 yellow, I think NL. But I guess, 10-drop Big Mom still being such a strong card, it's fair to play Katakuri, They have a lot of other new triggers, like the Wano Zoro. I'm not sure exactly where that came from. It might just be OP05, I'm not too sure, but that card is very solid. So yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting matchup. 6k leaders are kind of always annoying to go against. But Katakuri, he does want to give a Dawn to his leader, so it's like not the absolute worst, right? And then you're swinging 2k above, and if they have a Eustace, you're still just attaching 1 Dawn to swing even, so Katakuri definitely has that going for him. But a lot of the beaters outside of the vanillas are, not that great. Like Parasparrow, Cracker. I don't even know if they still play Cracker, but yeah, they're not amazing. The vanillas, on the other hand, are pretty good though. But it's like usually you tap out on curve for that, so then you don't get to swing that turn. It's like, I don't know, just like a deck that wants to play on curve, it's kind of rough into 6k leaders, Whitebeard and Katakuri. But Katakuri forced to go first, I assume. And turn 1, they both do nothing. Turn 2, he plays down the Parasparrow and passes. Cannot take that attack because, again, doesn't have the Dawn for it. Red Purple Luffy just swinging 6 at lead. Katakuri will take. We see a Beji. Unfortunate. He definitely would have wanted that at the bottom of his life, but what are you going to do? And then Red Purple Luffy playing down a Hawkins, ramping 1. He also did have a Zoro Juro in hand, so interesting as to why he elected to play the Hawkins. It's kind of the same thing, right? I guess Hawkins is less weak to removal if you hit, like, I don't know, if like Katakuri decided to like Thunderbolt the Zoro Juro. I guess you get that guaranteed ramp, which is fair. But Katakuri giving a Dawn to Parasparrow, swinging for 6, electing not to play the Randolph in his hand, which, yeah, missing out on 2 attacks kind of feels pretty bad, right? So, I think that's fair. Red Purple Luffy picking up a 9-drop Whitebeard, that's going to be very strong. Katakuri swinging 7, looking at his top life. I think it was a Parasparrow. I kind of looked away for a second. Let's see what Red Purple Luffy decides to do. He definitely has the counter power for it, but we know next turn he's going into his 7 Dawn turn, so he'll be able to play Eustace and then become a 7k leader. And then the following turn he'll have 9-drop and he'll be a 9k leader. So I almost understand the mentality of why defend now when I'm at 6k, when I can just defend when I'm at 8 or 9k, Hell of a lot easier, a lot more taxing on your opponent to actually swing into you. Because especially, like, you're bigger than an 8-drop kid if you have Eustace and 9-drop Whitebeard on the board, or the turn you play 9-drop Whitebeard, which is, like, crazy to think about. This deck is, it's pretty cool. And, it does make me a little bit sad that, we probably won't see much of it because of 9-drop being limited to 1. But I don't know if we want to unleash, full power Whitebeard, but he doesn't seem... Red in general doesn't seem to be very good in OP05. Seems a lot of the new stuff seems very, very strong and is kind of pushed out the Zoro, the Whitebeard. I imagine they're definitely still around, but kind of it's almost interesting if, like, what would happen if we just unlimited all these cards in our meta. Because we love Law, Whitebeard, Zoro. To be fair, the restriction list doesn't really affect Law outside of playing maybe one more Radical Beam, but yep. Katakuri swings 7. Luffy defended that one, and then Katakuri swinging 7 again. And he's opting to take, once again, the mentality, I think, why defend my 7k leader when my leader can be 9k? Katakuri tapping 1 for the pudding. Looking at the top 4. Sees a 7-drop, an 8-drop, a Thunderbolt, and a Randolph. He might take the Thunderbolt for, like... Yeah, he's looking at it. Yeah, he might take that just because next turn, Red Purple Luffy did just to say, nah, I'm going down to 0. None of my life is getting trashed by any of the 10-drop Big Moms. And also accelerating the game a lot. So, maybe Katakuri won't get a chance to play the 10-drop because they are also... they're on the odd curve, so they're only going to be a 9 Dawn next turn. And so is Luffy right now, ramping 1 with his leader effect. If you don't know, Red Purple Luffy is a 6k leader with 3 life, Red Purple. And if you're at 0 Dawn or 8 or more Dawn, you can just use your leader and ramp 1 Dawn. But with that, after ramping 1, he'll play Newgate, swing with Eustace, use his effect, -1 Dawn. So now his leader is 9k. So he does have a ton of cards in hand. He probably can just defend at least like 1 all-in from the Katakuri. Looks like he has a couple. I'm trying kind of hard to see Red Purple Luffy's hand, but I think he at least definitely has a couple 2Ks. I know the Frenosuke are 2Ks. But Katakuri opting to take the 8k hit from Eustace. Looking at, again, that's the Parasparrow trigger, we know because he looked at it earlier. Thinking if he wants to use that, or if he just wants to hold his cards in hand. Like, a 5k attacker into a 9k leader does feel kind of bad, honestly. But on the other hand, what's a Parasparrow doing in your hand, Like, you might as well just use that trigger. Discard, like, the 8-drop Katakuri, because I feel like giving Red Purple Luffy a life... Oh no, he just took it. Alright, maybe he thought the 8-drop would be important. I feel like I'd want to chuck that. To be fair, I guess he could heal himself with the 8-drop. Yeah, I don't play a ton of Katakuri, so maybe I'm just not a knower. But Katakuri going up to... should be 9 Dawn this turn. So he'll be swinging... How much is 9 Dawn? It'd be 14, but because of Katakuri, it's 15. So 15 into 9, so Luffy only needs 3 2Ks and a 1K. His hand definitely has 3 2Ks, we see the 3 Frenosuke's. So we know he survives this all-in, and then he probably just has to go for game the following turn. And looking at Katakuri's hand, he has 1 1K, a 2K, another 1K, and he's kind of blocking the rest of his cards. He's a Beji, so another 2K. So really not a ton of counter power. So he has 2 2Ks, 2 1Ks. Yep, going for it. 9 Dawn on lead. Look at his life. We see a Thunderbolt. Thinking about where he wants to put that. He is putting it on the bottom. Alright. And, yep, Luffy already organized his hand. He's gonna drop those 3 2Ks and either the Nami or the Law or just one other 1K. Doesn't really matter. Interesting to see he's playing the Searcher Nami. I wonder like what the rest of the deck looks like, because so far we've only really seen Zorodruro, which yet that can be added by Nami. And I don't know what other Straw Hats. Oh, he does have Gear 5 Luffy in hand, so that's another thing. Okay, I imagine he has quite a couple targets. I imagine, if he's at 10 Dawn, he's probably gonna go for the 10-drop Luffy, right? Because he has to go for game. Because you can't counter out of another, all-in with his leader. And he knows his opponent has Thunderbolt, so he just has to go for it this turn, right? He doesn't have a choice. Swings 8 at the Katakuri. He has the 2 2Ks to get out of this. Kind of scary, because it's like you'll have to deal with an 8K attack this turn, a 10K, and then a 6K, or however he chooses to order it. Tap 10, play the, actually no, he can, I think I remember this, he plays the 10 drop, minus his 10, and then his leader will let him ramp 1, so he can swing for 7. So it's actually 8, 7, or 7, 8, 10, are the 3 swings this turn. So he takes the 10k from Newgate, drops down the 10 drop. I think it's so funny, just put his whole Don deck right back. That's funny. He's going to use leader, ramp 1, and then I use Gear 5 effect, tap 1, ramp 1, and then swing 7 at the Katakuri. He can get out of this with a 2k and a 1k. And we know his last life is Thunderbolt, which is not going to help him in this scenario. Okay, he uses 3 1ks. Fair enough. So Luffy's turn once again. Draws Hawkins. And yep, uses Gear 5 effect, tap 1, ramp 1. And it's pretty much what, you just swing 10 and then 12, and you hope for the best. Because he has 1 blocker, which will get answered by the Thunderbolt that he knows Katakuri has. So, yeah. Just slap 4 down on your leader, swing 10, and then 12, and hope that last card isn't a Veggie. Obviously we know it's a Thunderbolt, but from his perspective, that last card is very scary, because Katakuri did put it there. But I mean, this is kind of one of those scenarios where it's like, what choice do you have? You just go for it. Unless he's playing like Nami, maybe find a Chopper, and then... Yeah, nah, he played Gear 5. He's committing to going for game. I guess just thinking about it. Gear 5 is such a cool card. If you guys don't know, I might as well explain it. I know, not everyone has seen all the OP05 cards. He's a 10 drop, and on play you can minus 10 Dawn, and then you basically take another turn after this, after this turn. And his other effect is you tap 1 Dawn to ramp 1, and that works pretty well with, Red Purple Luffy, as when he minuses 10 Dawn, goes to 0, he can actually use his leader to ramp the 1, and then Gear 5 will let him ramp another 1 for next turn. Both Luffys can kind of do that, Purple Luffy and Red Purple Luffy, where you 10 drop, and then, obviously in Purple Luffy you have to take a life, but that's fine. Most of the time when you play this card, you're going for game. There's no other reason to sack off the rest of your board. Yeah, I guess just checking how many 2k counters Katakuri's used. He does know that the last attack, the 7k, he countered out with 3 1ks. So it's very likely that he does not have the counter power for these 2 swings. Swings 10, no trigger, then swings 12, and he gets it. Yes, sir. Yeah, we obviously knew that last life was Thunderbolt, but yeah, this deck is really cool. I like how he sorry. I like how he played it. Just kind of taking the life, because whatever. Took like 1 counter out, I think, early, and then like the rest of the time he was at above 6k. He was either from 7 to like 9 until he went for game with the 10 drop Gear 5. But yeah, that is it pretty much. I'll be uploading more games from this tournament. I'm happy that this tournament happened, because I was starving for some tournament gameplay. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.